Sometimes there's going to be a week on this show where I catch up on projects that I've completely forgotten I was supposed to do. This is one of those weeks. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's episode 11 of What's on the Bench Weekly. If you're not familiar with this show, it's where I take a gander at some of the projects that I've got on the bench and share everything with you. And this week is no different. It's exactly like that. Well, I mean, the projects are different, but the format is the same. If you've got ideas for things you'd like to see on What's on the Bench, that's a lot of words, put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. And if you're enjoying this series as much as I am, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. All right, let's get right to it because we got a lot of stuff to cover. First things first, here's the Traxxas TRX4 2021 Bronco. And it's pretty much stock. I've swapped wheels and tires just for the heck of it. It's also got the Pro Scale Light Kit in it. And there is one feature that I've completely forgotten to talk about. It doesn't come standard, but it's really easy to add on. And we're on the transmitter. This is the standard TQI top qualifier transmitter. You'll notice that there is a phone mount on the top of it here. And this is, and that's part number 6532. And it comes with everything you need. You can put an iPhone on there. You can put an Android phone on there. You can put a Windows phone, I guess, if you had one. And one of the benefits of having this phone mount is that it lets you see the Traxxas software while you're looking at your transmitter. It's all right there for you. There it is. And the reason that I'm showing this is because of this. That's the Traxxas Link, and that plugs right into any TQI radio. It's a little thing you get separately. And what that allows for is a lot of remote control of your remote control from your telephone. Your smartphone has a lot of really cool features. The Traxxas software has some additional extra cool features. One of them being telemetry. And telemetry, of course, allows you to see a lot of data from your vehicle while you're driving it. The data that I'm talking about today is the actual inclinometer that's built into the TQI receiver. I didn't know it was there. It was something that I had to be told about. But once I was told, I was like, yes, this is awesome, because an inclinometer will show you angles of where your truck is at on the trail. It's a very cool feature and something that hasn't really been talked about very much. And I'm surprised that they don't mention it because it is very cool. I love data. I love seeing data. Sounds like I'm talking about Star Trek. Data? Maybe data. Regardless, very cool to see that. And also, the Traxxas Link software also allows you to adjust lights on the fly from the telephone as well. So lots of really, I should probably call it a smartphone, not a telephone. Anyway, lots of really neat stuff in there. Dig in, find more features. Tell me about something that maybe I've missed. I think it's pretty neat and definitely something that I would recommend if you are, like me, into data. Next on the bench today, this little guy, the Axial SCX24 Gladiator, one of my more favorite SCX24s. I'm very, very pleased with this. I have made some changes, some upgrades, and these are from all of them. I got them all from Club 5 Racing. I will put a link down below to these products and everything else that I cover on What's on the Bench today. Weekly today. One of the things that I got that instantly changed this truck were oil-filled shocks, and these are from Hot Racing. They completely eliminate all that crappy bounciness, and now you get a much more accurate suspension. It's actually going to work a lot better. It's not going to just like bounce all over the place and flop around. You're going to get a much nicer ride, and it does a great job. I'm really impressed with those shocks. I filled them with 20 weight oil. It doesn't need much. A few drops is all you really need, but it makes such a huge difference over stock. I cannot recommend them enough. Get yourself a set. Absolutely imperative to increase the performance of these small scale RCs. Secondly, some nice metal sliders now installed on the truck. You can see that they've got this sort of like pattern built into them, some drilled out holes, which I think looks pretty cool. And because they're flat on the sides, they'll be able to slide over obstacles a lot easier than having nothing under there. And I think it really completes the look. Speaking of completing the look, you will notice that there are inner fenders now too. These are from Club 5 Racing. They are 3D printed, SLS nylon, so they're a very nice print. And they got some nice little bit of detail in there, including space for rock lights, which are included when you buy the inner fenders. They plug into one of the auxiliaries on this HRZ 00015 2-in-1 ESC and receiver, and work perfectly. It's really nice to see a miniature set of rock lights on a truck like this. It's fantastic. Installation could not be easier. Remove a few screws, replace those screws again, and screw down all of your lights with a Phillips head flat screw. It's pretty super darn simple and really makes this truck look fantastic. Look as good as it performs now. Very happy with this one. I really like the small scale stuff. It's fun for the winter, which is approaching. Winter is coming, and we get a lot of that. So it's nice to have something that you can crawl around with indoors. I'm gonna have to make some indoor crawling courses, but bench sized. All right, on to the next thing. Remember this? Me neither. No, here is the Element Gatekeeper No Fun Haver in its final ready-to-go stage. Finally got those pinions I was looking for, and what did I put in there? 23 tooth pinion was the biggest one I could fit, so we should be getting a fair amount of wheel speed now, which is good. Yeah, so just a quick little rip here. That should probably be enough. We're gonna have to find a nice, good place to do this. Of course, I know exactly the right place. I just have to wait for some decent-ish weather. And we shouldn't have to wait too long. So, standalone running video on this coming very soon. How's that for an update? I like this truck. I like it a lot. It might not be much fun, but I think it's going to be a blast. I love that even this truck is almost too big for the bench now. But this is the TRX4 High Trail. I've made some modifications, and if you haven't been paying attention, go back and check out previous weeks. I will put a link right up here so you can check out all of the content on the TRX4 High Trail K10 Cheyenne, which I have made into a mud truck. And now I have made it into a proper mud truck. There were a few things that I really wanted to change. The first thing being those wheels and tires. They looked hilarious and I loved them, but I just don't think they were going to hold up to what kind of abuse I'm going to put this truck through. So I went with the original intention, which was the 2.6 J Concepts Fling Kings. These are mounted properly. There's no wiggle on them. They are meant for this, and they are going to perform spectacularly. I also cleared the windows. I used a little bit of Vallejo airbrushable gloss clear, and it cleared them up really well. You can see right in there now, and since you can see in there so much better, it was time to add an interior. That interior is from GRC, and I picked it up from 110hobbies.ca, one of my local shops that I frequent. They were the ones who got me on the On Point paint train. So I was really glad to be able to make another purchase from them. It's just really awesome to support your local hobby shop when you can. This was meant for the TRX4 Blazer. There were a few minor modifications I had to make because I'm not using the stock ESC, and it doesn't really work properly with the K10 body because the interior frame that holds those clip systems in place really interferes with the dashboard. So I had to trim out part of that inner structure. It thankfully hasn't changed much in the way of actual rigidity of the body. It's compromised ever so slightly, but not so much that I'm going to worry about it. The intention was to get an interior in here, and now we have one. The guys from 110 Hobbies also hooked me up with a set of the more old school seats, which I think look really great with this interior. And being that it is an older Chevy truck, it made sense to have them. I'm really pleased with how all of this has turned out. And now it's time to get it out and get it muddy. I'm really looking forward to that. In fact, I might take this down to my friend Headquake's house. Get together with him in the next couple weeks. Hopefully we can do this before I go away on vacation. Because that would be hard to do, and they don't have a lot of mud in Las Vegas. Certainly not in the casinos. But yeah, that's the mud truck. Great to have an interior in there. Super happy with the fitment of that GRC interior. I did have to move the dash forward a little bit, or backward, depending on which side you're looking from, in order to clear the actual hood, because the Blazer is a different enough truck. This is a much longer wheelbase, so things had to be pushed around a little bit. It's all in there. It does a great job of hiding most of the electronics as well, including the battery, and I would definitely recommend one, so I'll be sure to put a link down below. All right, that's everything for this week. I always say this, it's going to be a quick episode, and then it turns into 20 minutes. Hopefully this one is shorter than that. Let's say it's 18. I'm just randomly guessing. If I'm right, throw a like. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys all hanging out with me on What's on the Bench Weekly. This is such a super fun show for me to do, and I will continue to do it as long as you continue to watch it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.